So, Marseille. We booked a tour up to Avignon. Avignon is, again, a medieval sort of town, a bit more windy roads, but obviously a lot bigger than the other ones we've been to. And the Pope's Palace is a very impressive building, but it's very Gothic. It is lovely in its own way, but it's more barren, if you like, but it's still impressive nonetheless. So we went into the Pope's Palace. We had thought 3/4 hour free time, loads of time, you'd think. Looked for the geocache that's in the square in front of the Pope's Palace without any success. Went into the next square, the main sort of town square, where we found another one, and we looked for another one, and we did find it. So yeah, that's that calendar slot filled, and then indulged in a very, 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 I've got to say, overpriced cake. I mean, seriously, €3.50 for a cake. Anyway, sat in the square. We'd found the geocache. It was quite a nice afternoon, and then we ambled via a souvenir shop back to the coach, which was parked right by Le Pont d'Avignon. Now, did we get a chance to go sur Le Pont d'Avignon? I'm afraid we didn't. Time was against us. Plus, I didn't realise you had to pay to go sur Le Pont d'Avignon. Now, I would have done, honestly, I would, but we didn't have time. So I couldn't, in fact, I didn't even have time to see if the geocache that's by the Pont d'Avignon is actually on it or underneath it. Never mind. So that was Avignon. Back to Marseille. Now, the next part of the trip to that particular day trip was to go to the basilica that overlooks Marseille. The thing is, it's on completely the other side of the city from the road in from Avignon. So when you come in, you have to drive all the way through Marseille and around the harbour and past loads of geocaches. Well, a few. And then you go up the hill to the basilica. This is where, particularly, the advantage of being in a small minibus, like Kim organised, kicks in. Because the roads are barely designed for minibuses. In fact, they're barely designed for cars. How this guy with the 50-seater bus made it through these roads, I have no idea. He was an art form. Really, it was. Anyway, we got up there. Now, the last time we were there, we were muggles. We weren't geocachers. But because you can use your data abroad, I did a search. I think it actually used up the last of my data allowance for the month. And we found that there is a physical cache there and there's a virtual. So we did the virtual and we had a look for the physical. We didn't find the physical. I've looked since, and basically where it was, we were on a platform, if you like, with a low wall here. And although the app was telling me I was only 10 feet away from it, it was 10 feet away in that direction, but down, if you get my drift. So the cache was down there. It wasn't in this bit of wall that I could see, which was only like 4 foot high. It was in somewhere down in the rest of the wall, which was holding up everything that I was standing on, if you like. So we didn't find that one. Never mind. But we logged the virtual, so jobs are good. The basilica actually is another prime example of something looking fantastic from the outside, but when you go inside, I couldn't remember if we'd actually been inside before when we were there last time with Kim. But when we went in, I realised how, because it's quite dull, to be honest, and very, very dark. So anyway, that was that was the end of Marseille, and back to the ship we went. And sadly, that was our final port of call. After that, it was back to Genoa and back home eventually. We had a bit of fun trying to get off the boat, because our original plan, which is what we usually do, and when D8 filled out all the information before we left, was I pay for all the ships, the stuff that goes on, but we buy on the ship, because my credit card, my Halifax credit card, you can use abroad for free. And so somehow I managed to drop it on the kitchen floor, because it was there on the kitchen floor when I got home. Luckily, D8 recently has taken out a Sainsbury's credit card, so we could use hers. The thing was, because I told them, or D8 had told them, that I, Mr. Jenkins, was paying the bill, we were using Mrs. Jenkins's credit card to pay the bill. So when I tried to get off, it said I had an outstanding balance. So we had to trip all the way back to reception, which had a mercifully short line, to, as it turned out, we needed to merge our accounts. As I'd spent most of the holiday being Mrs. Susan, using Sue's card to buy our, use our drinks package, I didn't realise it hadn't been merged. But anyway, that was a minor panic over. We didn't hold the coach up. At least we did better than the poor German girl that stood in front of us. She was going to stand in the line for reception because they hadn't even sent her a bill. I don't know, maybe her and a travel partner that we'd seen her with earlier on in the cruise had already merged their accounts. I don't know. But anyway, that was that sorted. We got to Genoa Airport. Dinky little, well, probably the smallest airport we've ever flown out of. MSC have a lounge there. They don't tell you where it is, but they have got one. Unfortunately, we didn't find it. We went straight through and sat on the hard, cold metal seats in the departure lounge. Flight home, not a problem. Back to Gatwick, pick the car up, not a problem. By which time, of course, our plan to drop Paige, the Papillon, the travel bugger with us, abroad, had fallen flat. So, but that actually was plan B. Plan A was to leave it in a travel bug hotel at Junction 8 of the M25, which is the junction for Reigate. Was it Junction 9? No, Junction 8. And so that's what we did. And that's where Paige is, which is why I've not been waving around and showing it to you. So we did pick up another one, which is downstairs in the kitchen. And we'll take that one around with us for a couple of weeks before we drop it off at another travel bug hotel. Because there is one local to me that I haven't actually visited yet. So all in all, not bad. Enjoyed ourselves. Certainly made use of the drinks package we bought. Availed ourselves of the entertainment, the daytime entertainment and the nighttime entertainment. Didn't really meet anybody because there was just too many nationalities on board to stumble across. And he did really only stumble across other English-speaking people, some of which obviously weren't British. They were Americans. I don't think I even heard any Australian accents, which isn't that surprising, but we didn't. I suppose if we'd have used the British pub a bit more, we would have done, but we didn't. We liked to go and have a dance. Unfortunately, there weren't always the seats in the place where they did the dancing had the live music. So we could dance. But on the whole, we enjoyed it. We had fun, and so that's it for now. That's it until the next one. The next holiday's not till May, which is another cruise, unsurprisingly, and it'll be another new cruise experience because we've not used this cruise line before either. Now, I'm going to make a bit of a plea here. Now, I'm not doing this. I've not done this so I can become a world famous vlogger and have people throwing money at me. I'm doing it for a laugh and a bit of fun. But I'd like to do it for a laugh and a bit of fun to a few more people than I'm apparently doing it to now. So if you wouldn't mind spreading the word for me, that'd be great. Now, so I don't know whether I'm going to do one in May. I know I'd like to, because I know my good friend Gail in New Zealand watches these, because poor old Gail, due to medical restrictions, is marooned, stranded, if that's not too harsh a term, in New Zealand. She's not going to be able to get abroad again. I know she's not, unless she improves medically. And I really hope, Gail, that you and Bill can travel again soon. Or, I know it doesn't look great, but it would be great if you could. Because I know how much you'd like to see your grandchild again. Anyway, so for you, Gail, I might carry on doing these. Let me know if you want me to. And if you want Gail, you and I can play the game that Dave and I have been playing this time. Okay? If you want to do that, let me know. Get in touch. You know how to do it. So, until May, enjoy yourselves. Life's too short. Happy days.